interesting that now Ethiopia is building a very big dam. It's Grand Ethiopian Dam. And now Ethiopia has the money, they are building by their money. Now Egypt, what they will do? So now Egypt are coming to all over the world. They are telling, now listen, look, Ethiopia is not following international principles. So please stop Ethiopia. So that is interesting because of something self-advertisement, I'm sorry. But I was interviewed by Al Jazeera. I don't know why it comes like this, whatever. Okay, but about this, so what I told that Egypt made a mistake in 1960. Unfortunately, Ethiopia is making the same mistake now. So Egypt should not take refuge from international principles unless it agrees on the principles herself. And what is interesting, that was the key message. Egypt, Ethiopia should agree on the principles which they agree on before trying to take refuge or shelter from principles of international water law. And it is very interesting because Ethiopian foreign minister shared my statement somehow, but he just deleted one sentence that I told Ethiopia is doing the same, what Egypt did. But he was, I saw it on the foreign minister website. And many Ethiopians are telling very good, very good. Yeah? So that is the problem. Yeah, that is the problem. So these two things are very linked. One very, very risky thing is that if you build a Grand Ethiopian high dam here, if it is affecting Cairo or Egypt or Sudan, what is dangerous here in terms of security issues, that if a country feels like Egypt, suddenly that for this dam, our country is underdeveloped. So they have two options. One, to throw a bomb, because if you throw a bomb to a dam which has a very large reservoir, then it will be flooded whole area. So in case of them, the clever idea is to take the whole country. So in future, if Cairo thinks that I will take the whole Ethiopia, there will be conflict. Yeah, it happens. Like I will show you in the Middle East. It's everywhere you will see this kind of things happening. Now it's a time of big dams. Silently, people are doing it. All over the world, like Brazil, India, China, Turkey, they are doing it now because the world is very busy with other issues. Now this is the main theory that is accepted by all. Every state is free to use water as long as it does not hurt other countries. This is called theory of limited territorial sovereignty. There are, I give this map, I know that you know all, just for myself. That means Uzbekistan can use its water in Amudarya, no problem, as long as it does not hurt Turkmenistan or Afghanistan. Tajikistan or Kyrgyzstan can use Shirdorya water as long as it does not harm Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan. So it's the main theory. This is the principle that is first principle, I would say, under that theory. Principle of equitable and reasonable utilization. And I gave some articles which are relevant to this principle. I am not explaining those. Each country is entitled to reasonable and equitable share of water for the benefit within its territory. And United Nations Water Course Convention clearly gave the indicators or the criteria how you will share it. Of course, it's vague, but it's at least it gave some guideline. So that means here is Columbia River shared by Canada and United States. That means Canada and United States should use water equitably and reasonably. And this is the river for what USA refused their own principle, because Canada was building something here in upstream. So they are telling USA, Harvard doctrine, that okay, that was a very good doctrine, and we really like that principle and we are building. On that time, 1905, the USA suddenly thought like, what is this? Then they actually told that we are sorry, that was not good. So they came to this principle. And actually it led to the International Boundary Commission formation with Mexico and Canada. So USA now deals with both countries with the commission. This is one Vuoksi river watershed shared by Finland and Russia. So here also, like, there is an agreement between Finland and Russia or USS 1964 frontier water portion. By that, actually, both countries, actually it's superb. This is a living example how you can share water peacefully. And of course, there are other examples in Sweden and all, but they are small river. But Russia is a very big country, small country, how they manage peacefully the sector. But they share it reasonably and equally. And then the next principle is obligation not to cause significant harm. That means you should not harm other countries. When you are using equitably and reasonably, it should not harm the interest of other countries in terms of water quality, in terms of agriculture, in terms of human survival. So that is the principle. Just to show you, we are in Middle East. This is Turkey, Syria, Iraq, Persian Gulf. So Euphrates River originated from Turkey, and then Syria, then Iraq. So Turkey has a massive plan, massive. It's Eastern Anatolian project, they say. It's a building dams. There is Euphrates River, Tigris River also, all over the country. And naturally, they have planned for many decades. Iraq was opposing that, Syria was opposing that, naturally. But now the situation is good for Turkey. Now this is volatile, they have no say at the moment. Syria, you see, now they are very peacefully building those things. So after 10 years, when this country will be stabilized, I will come again, if I am alive, or my students will say that okay, this is bad for them. Yeah? And Iraq and Syria, what they will do? They cannot break the dam. So they will together might attack Turkey. That is the risk. So at the cost of this instability, we are bringing a more serious instability for future. And no one is interested to offend Turkey at this moment. That's the risk. Principle of cooperation and information exchange that I emphasized before already, that you have to share data and information for effective management of river basin. As for example, this is a good example from my region. This is a, you know where is China? This is China. This is India. This is Bhutan. And this is Bangladesh. And if you are interested in Nepal, this is Nepal. So the river originates here in Tibet, then comes to Arunachal Pradesh, enters and then Bangladesh and to Bengal. That means China should provide information to India and Bangladesh, and India also provide information. Otherwise, if there are more water coming from this, if we know beforehand, at least 1 or 2 days in advance, we can actually take precaution to reduce flood hazard. Disaster risk reduction is very easy. Just to give you an example, if we know that there are less water, we can grow crops that requires less water, like potatoes or rice. As you understand, all day, in the lunch I took rice. It was so small. We love to eat rice.
Sorry, which river is that? Brahmaputra?
Brahmaputra, exactly. So you have to share. I will come to this later. This is another Finnish river, as I was there for many years. You know, Passioki, Yoki means river, watershed. And this is also managed by 1964 Frontier Water Conservation. And I will cite this, but we have a paper on this if you want to know detail. It's a classic example of cooperation. And notification, consultation, and negotiation. That means if you want to build something, some new dam, like if Tajikistan want to build a new dam, it should notify Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, and Afghanistan that we are going to do it, and here is the data. And if you have anything to say, please tell us and negotiate with us. But quite often it's opposite. As I showed in China, they are building dams, and China is very, I would say, very honest. Honest in a sense, if there is any Chinese, I don't know. But honest in a sense, when you ask, they said like we always share the data after we finish the project. So after finishing the dams, we will share the data. That means before construction we don't care. And it's true, they are telling truthfully. They don't shy. So it's very important. Like what Egypt is crying for now, because they did the same mistake. Ethiopia is not sharing data, but Egypt didn't share the data with Ethiopia as well on that time. So that means, as I told, if Kyrgyzstan wants to do something in Shirudari, they should consult with Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan. Quite naturally. And in Abu Dhabi, Afghanistan is a powerful, or not powerful, important country, which is excluded all the time. And without the help of Afghanistan, management of Abu Dhabi river is extremely tough, as we can see. This is peaceful settlement of dispute. That means all states in the international water course, if there is a conflict, they will settle it peacefully. And United Nations Convention, Article 33, which many regional or bilateral agreement is nowadays following. Copy paste. United Nations does not mind if you copy paste. It's not paganism. With the help of Permanent Court of Arbitration, you can settle the matter easily. That's peaceful settlement of dispute.
Dr. Rahman, sorry. Can you please go back one slide? How old is this map?
This is a little bit Encarta, very old version.
Sorry?
It's very old version, I guess.
Very old version.
Yes.
Because Kyrgyzstan is a very interesting name for Kazakhstan. What's up?
What?
The Kyrgyzstan.
It is over there up on the top.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tsarist Russia used to call Kazakhstan Kyrgyz Kaysak, so I think it's
Oh.
from that period.
Not, okay, which period you are referring? But it says from 2008, I guess.
2008, so
Encarta, Microsoft Encarta, I'm not telling you. It's
Okay.
perfect. It's from Microsoft Encarta. But thanks. So this is the peaceful settlement of dispute. And I will not go any further. This is the some principles and which articles of UN Convention address these principles, and some name of some treaties which actually, in the article name, which actually address this principle. Just to make sure that this principle is not forcefully given or provided, forcefully introduced to the international community. They already, in 1960 or even before that, they already accepted it. Of course, they always twist it. Whenever they need help, they say international principle. When they are doing something else, they tell, I don't care. This is a very bigger list, I suppose. It's different treaties, and we are doing it, updating it all the time. So, same, the treaties and articles.
Sorry, how many disputes have been brought so far and solved?
What?
How many disputes, like say the principle for dispute settlement? Is there any dispute?
Yeah, actually, you have to first ratify the convention. Actually, two disputes are already. But both countries should ratify the convention and should agree. So United Nations Water Course Convention was ratified by 36 countries as of now, and it is in force from 17th August 2004. So we can say that we have proved that we can manage international water courses. I don't know how much time I took. I'll take maybe another 10 to 15 minutes. You know that this map might help you. You might be satisfied because this is from United Nations directly. So copyright, they gave me this. So have a look at this. It's Kazakhstan is quite big. Yeah. So I actually for a latest article we collected it from United Nations. They have a map providing service. They provide map up to date so that there is no issue. And this is some key water-related treaty or agreement in Central Asia. This is agreement on water resource cooperation in 1992. The Institute for Basin Water Association, Amudarya and Shivadarya, and its interested Commission for Water Coordination in Central Asia. This is the Institute for Interested Commission for Water Coordination of Central Asia. Why? We also checked how Central Asian agreements to address those principles. Why I am stressing it here? There is a hope in Central Asia because Central Asian 2008 Institute is the only document as of now which clearly mentions the integrated water resources management. Of course, this is highly bureaucratic, as I can see from the legal document. This is highly bureaucratic management. Afghanistan is not a party. Sharing or solving dispute is still a problem. There are river basin organization is not working properly. There are many challenges, but what I am stressing here, this is one of the best regional documents we have at this moment, after South African Development Cooperation Water Protocol. And now I will give one example from South Asia to just show how complex it is to manage. As we are telling you these principles, when you apply how complex it is, it's very complex. And what is very important to know that IWIM actually is a process, not an event. I already told you people what is process and event. You know that, I didn't. I was positively surprised. But it's a process, it takes generation to generation to achieve truly integrated water resource management. And you cannot achieve sustainable development in any particular time because that generation will also think about future generations. So it's a continuous process. So in international river basin, it's very tough. In national setting, we can do something because we have the authority and we have the same people. But in international setting, it's a problem. Okay, I know you are very intelligent audience today, but this is something here somewhere. It's for my student. Yeah. Sometimes they cannot even draw the map of Bangladesh. Yeah, it's a disaster. Of course, they know where is Bangladesh because they are in Bangladesh. But sometimes it's very tough for them. But I will follow these two big rivers. This is Ganges, originates actually in Tibet, then Nepal, and then flows to India, then going to Bangladesh and Bay of Bengal. This is Brahmaputra I already showed. And what is interesting here, there is 200,000 megawatt hydropower potential, and this is a conflict zone. Both countries claim that it's Chinese. China claims that it's China, India claims that it's India. When Indian Prime Minister is controlled by India. When Indian Prime Minister go there, Chinese Prime Minister send a notice that you came to my country without visa. It's very bad. So this is I will show later because this is one thing that whenever you will see a conflict, you will see there is a resources, either oil or water. In every conflict zone, if you just map it, you will find, because here also in dust there is problem. So you will find there are resources. Nobody cares about human. People care about resource. And this is another river shared by Bangladesh and India. It's Meghna. But just to go, before going, I just give a few statistics. It's a recent one, but the population is increasing, as you see. In Kyrgyzstan is 6 million, is 1,252. In Bangladesh is 156, so in Pakistan is 182. So its population is rising quite fast. GDP is also rising positively. Not bad. Bhutan is doing better, and India has done a good job. Sri Lanka, of course, because of the education. And nowadays Bangladesh is now 1,200 or 300 already. So it's 2013 now we have the data. So it's developing quite fast at the cost of negative environmental development. But this is the percentage of area which is used for agriculture purposes. In Bangladesh it is little bit decreasing because of urbanization. Actually in all countries it should be little bit, but this is the percentage of total country area used for irrigation. And this is the total water withdrawal by sub-country. Like you see, like India in a year withdraw 761 billion cubic meter of water. Out of that, 688 for agriculture. So you can see the contribution, and we don't have data for many countries for many years. So for example, in Bangladesh, they withdraw 35 billion cubic meter and 31 for agriculture. So I'm just trying to say like the contribution of water to the agriculture, or agriculture is the food security is the main issue here, or dominates here, and also energy security little bit. This is a area equipped for irrigation by surface water. As you can see, surface water was contributing in 1993 to 1997, 40%, and now it's in 2002 it was 36. But other years data were really missing. We tried a lot, or we still trying. And for Bangladesh it's also decreasing. On the other hand, groundwater use has been increasing all countries because there are less water in the river. There are dams, there are barrages, there are weirs, there are groynes, whatever. So there are less water, so people are dependent on groundwater nowadays. They are extracting groundwater in dry season, and that is creating a vicious circle. You have less groundwater. During monsoon, you have water, but it's used for recharge. Again, you are withdrawing next year. So for food security, you are using groundwater mainly, because surface water is used very less. Because as for example, Bangladesh use 31 billion cubic meter of water per year for agriculture. Out of that, 28 billion cubic meter used from groundwater. So they only use 3 billion cubic meter for surface water. So lack of use or stress on surface water use and laziness of people, I would say, of farmers, whatever, or the government bureaucrats, because it's very easy to extract groundwater and supply it to the field in sleep. Food are grown, land is very fertile there. And I told in the beginning, I love rice. Everyone loves rice. And for that reason, you see that how it is going, 56 to 50. And don't think that Bangladesh managed its water use resources wisely. This excess rice production has fully or mostly contributed by groundwater use. Because we have now a technology, UNDP introduced deep tube well. So now people know it's very easy to extract groundwater. So then this increase happens. It's same in India as well. And if you, my students know, But for 1 kilo of rice production, it need 3,000 liters of water. Water footprint. For 1 kilogram of potato, it takes 150 liters. So you see like this cropping pattern. And I have some Afghan friend here, Afghan and Pakistan. So that is also water consuming. So I can give you this potato production. It's there also, it's positive because Bangladesh almost 8 times potato is produced in Bangladesh now, which is positive to reduce pressure on water because rice is very water consuming. But if you tell me that Mizan, today at dinner you will be offered potato only and no rice for next 3 days, really I will be offended. And I am in a foreign land, so I will not tell you anything. But, if you come to my country, I will check what you like to eat. Yeah? But rice is very, that's changing food habit, changing crop pattern, changing the attitude so that you can use more surface water. It doesn't mean that you don't have surface water in rice. There are some. People are always fighting. We don't have water, we don't have water. But I can see at least some water in the river. So you have to know how to use it. So you have to prepare in 2 fronts. One is national front, increasing the efficiency of water use, irrigation efficiency and also changing cropping pattern. One is in international front, ensuring that you are getting equitable water from international rivers. This is the same figure, so I am not going it. This is Ganges Basin, now this is Brahmaputra Basin. This is the hydrograph that I told about data, So if you see this is for Brahmaputra. This one and this. This is in India, whatever. If you see from January to May, for Ganges this is, water is less. This is discharge, water. So January to May, water is less. For this period there are flood. So every year, if you see this hydrograph, I can tell in 1951, September 1, what was written in a newspaper in Bangladesh. I can tell you. The southern part is flooded, farmers are trying, government is trying to help. Because in September every year there will be flood. It's quite simple equation. You don't have to be a... So if you know the data, you know everything in a way. But for this period the conflict happens. So in South Asia there are 2 issues. One is too much water, one is too less water. And all food production now concentrate on this. Even though there are less water in surface water, they take groundwater. So this is the main problem of South Asia. This is the area, the total area of Ganges Basin is 1 million square kilometer. And this is the population, it's very old now, it's 800 maybe. But these are some dams built in Nepal, India border, in Ganges Basin. This is the Ganges River. This is Malhari, and for that, Nepal is not happy, of course. This is the location of the dam. And this is one interesting point, this second one. This is the point where a barrage has been built by India. It's called Farakka Barrage. And just 70 kilometers from the Bangladesh border, just close by. That's why the water is less in this area. And there is this Sundarban, the mangrove forest, and whole part become very dry during non-monsoon period, January to May. So that's why the extra water. But we are talking about climate change issue with farm. The climate change issue, if sea level rise, this water will go inside. That means the highly saline water will enter Bangladesh and the soil will be saline. If the soil is saline, you need more water for irrigation. The soil becomes less fertile. So if there is less water from here, so every day the water, this is called tidal flow, water enters in these rivers every day. So if there is flow, they just force it down. So it reduces the salinity of that region. But as there is less water, it's a big problem here now. The people here is suffering. And of course, people of Kolkata is also suffering. It's not like that, they are also happy. This is the hydrograph for This is before 1975, but before the barrage was built. We used to get in January, in September barrage is open, so yeah, so they open the gate, so no problem. If they don't open the gate, it will be flooded, so you have to. So that amount of water, it was January, it was 3,000 meters per second, it decreased like this. So it's almost decreased every time. So actually because of less water, farmers now are happy to extract groundwater. It's free and produce rice. Because why they produce rice, there is one in India and in Bangladesh, there is one thing that farmers actually know how to produce rice. They don't have training to do other things. Like they are doing now vegetables, flowers in countryside, crops, potato. Okay, Bangladesh they are learning, but because of lack of skill, they don't want to do it. So that's another challenge. But this kind of barrages, there are hundreds of barrages, dams are being built in China and India. So it's just one minor example. What will happen? So one day what will happen, people will extract groundwater, and one day they will see there is no groundwater. And all trees are dying because groundwater has a limit. This is up to 2015, we have the data. But I'm focusing on January to May. On that period, nothing happens. This one is decreased. It will decrease. It's the latest work, ongoing work of us. We are doing this study, data, analyzing the data from 1934 to 2015. And this is the minimum water levels and distance, how it reduced over the years. Even for the whole year, it reduced. That means minimum water flow. It's very less, so Bangladesh is suffering, you can see this. After 1975, suddenly. So this is not only for these barrages, there are many other barrages and the story is same. As I told you, in conflict over water, Nepal, India, there are barrages, I showed on the map. But the thing is that there is, as for example, if you think about Koshi barrage, I will show on the map. It's in the border between Nepal and India. It was built and irrigation in Nepal is 11,300 hectares. By this dam, there is a reservoir and you can irrigate 11,300 hectares. In India, you can irrigate 980,000 almost. So Nepal is actually why we are doing this, to help other countries or not. Even though this kind of conflict is going on, so nobody is happy. But and at the end, as for example, if you have Koshi somewhere here, if you have a dam here, it definitely reduces the flow in Farakka. Again, it reduces the flow here. So it's a cyclic effect, So how countries wanted to deal it actually? This map shows what is the interest of which country. So Bangladesh and Nepal is very good friend. Both are small, both are less powerful. So poor people always become friend. But whatever, Bangladesh proposed that Nepal has a hydropower potential, so we can build dam there and store water and we can share it for non-monsoon season. That's January to May. On the other hand, India didn't like it. They want to do it bilaterally with Nepal and proposes that what we can do, we can transfer some water from Brahmaputra to Ganges and then give it to you. So this is Brahmaputra river entering Bangladesh. So they propose that there will be another barrage here and then the water will be taken to above Farakka, then give to you. Then Bangladesh told that you will take my own water that is coming and then again giving me, so I am not in agreement. So this is 1970 proposal, so it didn't see daylight. And now what is going on there? This is the situation now. This is all dams. It's interlinking rivers of India. So they are now, as Bangladesh did not agree to take the water through Bangladesh, so actually there is a plan to go this, it's Bangladesh-Nepal border, this is India, so this way. So now they are building series of dams here, and from Bhutan also there are tributaries, and then diverting water. Oh, now what is interesting, what is very interesting, China is also building dams here. They are diverting water. Now in Bangladesh you can see that many people will say China is not doing right, we should give his statement. Or India. And I normally say, stop your mouth. Sit down. Don't need to say anything. Because if China builds the dams, it will definitely reduce water here, okay? If India builds the dams, it will reduce the water here. So what is my profit of fighting with two big countries? Why? But if China builds dams here, these will be obsolete. So who will fight with China? India and China, when they both fight, it will not be a fight because two are big countries. There will be a mutual agreement at the end because two are very big, So no one can stop no one. But this is the situation here because here there is a hydropower potential. I told you. You see this hydraulic fault? We call it hydraulic fault. Like if I throw this in your head from 5 feet above, you will get hurt. But if I throw this from 60 feet, you will get more pain, is it? So this is called hydraulic fault. When water falls, then we have the power, then we use turbine. So here the hydraulic fault is more, so China can build dams. What is interesting, this part is conflicting too. So now it's already going on, but I think the next 5 to 10 years, the world have to deal with this crisis quite often, very much, and put too much resources on the region. But one thing, this is a Farakka point. This is some gazing station. This is Brahmaputra river. This is Ganges. Where we measured, I showed many data. So we measured this data here. And this is we got from WMO. So in these countries actually, data is classified, military classified. Even I tried to get data for Bangladesh 2005 to 8. And I have to go defense ministry, but it's classified. But as the video is going on, I have to be very careful. Yeah. But anyway, data is military classified, it's not so easy to get it. But now that one of my students is working in the ministry, so I get all the data. In my computer you can get all data of major rivers every day. So we are doing research now, but it's very hard to get data from here to there. And because of lack of data, Bangladesh is flooded. We cannot take extra precaution when the flood is. Nowadays we have 6 to 8 hours living time that we know in advance. This is Brahmaputra area distribution. I saw it already. Brahmaputra, 573,000 square kilometer. Hydropower potential is highest, 206,000 megawatt. It's huge. But even though the hydropower potential is more, you see, when these countries are trying to build dams, many people oppose it. Quite naturally. I am not in support of big dams, but if you see this data, Norway already utilized its 5 years back data, probably. Because its up-to-date data comes a little bit later. But Norway already utilized 68% of this hydropower potential. China only 13.8%. So if China tells now that why can't I, you did it. Either you break it, then I will not do anything. But yeah, why Kyrgyzstan will agree on that? Why Kazakhstan will agree on that? Why Ethiopia will agree on that? Because they didn't develop their hydropower potential. Why Bhutan will agree on that? In all majority of reasons. Why? What is my benefit? Because everyone was using it. I didn't have resources on that time.
Peter's principle. If anything can go wrong, it will.
But to show you this map for because last 2 weeks back there was an earthquake in Bangladesh. So I'm just showing the major earthquakes in this region that happened in last century. So if you build dams here, it's not so easy. If a dam dam contains huge amount of reservoir water, like billions cubic meter of water. If it breaks suddenly, it will come. So this is my last slide. That for management, you need to listen to other side. And finished. I will just there are 3 books that we published in cooperation with the Institute for Foreign Affairs in Finland about Central Asia. So if you are interested, thank you.
Thank you very much. It was really, I think, very interesting, actually fascinating. Before we open the floor for discussion, let me welcome and briefly introduce Ambassador Sergei Kapinos, who joined us, who is the head of the OSCE Center. He must have been interested in 2 capacities. One of them is the Central Asian capacity, the other that he served for several years in India. So it must have been very interesting for him to spend 10 years in India, if I'm not mistaken. So it must be really interesting in both senses. I think it was very exciting. I'm sure you have questions, comments, and the floor is open. Please.
First question. Would we be able to have a copy of this presentation? Because you have a lot of sources of information and the books. Could you send it by email?
Yeah.
Because I'm from the outside, I'm not from the inside.
Very good, very good. Yeah, I can. If you specify what information you want.
The books and the sources.
Yeah,
and
I'll
all the,
send. Actually, I already uploaded all the books,
declaration,
all the articles that is cited here in our course resource website. All everything is there. Full books, everything.
I don't have it. I'm
Okay.
from the outside.
Okay.
Send me an email. I will do it.
Okay. I'll come afterwards.
Thank you. Alisher?
Yeah, Dr. Rahman, thank you for your presentation. It was good. It was good observation of the world situation with the water resources and how transboundary rivers, let's say, manage it. So I wrote my bachelor thesis on transboundary water resource management in Central Asia, and particularly I studied a little bit of International Water Resource Management, IWRM. So can you please explain more what are the technical sides of the introduction of the IWRM besides dividing the region into basin water management systems? And second question is, I've learned that countries like Nepal, Bhutan, and India, they have nexus approach on water resource management, which is composed of 3 components: food security, economic security, and environmental security. How is that different to integrate water resource management? And are there many similar resources? Are there many similar approaches, just like IWRM?
To answer the second question first.
Okay.
If that 3 are the objectives, then I would say no difference. Because with the water resource management, integrated water resource management, however you define it, you want to achieve 3 things: environmental sustainability, economic development, social equity. And integrated water resource management not only manage water, it's managing water and related resources. It can include land, forests, So it's related resources. So I think the why people see integrated water resources management, always they see it's an event. It's a process. It's a process. Integrated water resource management will not give you a solution in a packet. You understand? It can show you the path.
Yeah.
That life will be little easier if you go this way. So this is not the ultimate solution.
Yeah.
And as you are telling, is it a new approach? Or I think I answered. But if you, I can share some articles. But if you see historically, it's not new. It's not new. There are many examples of integrated approach in different names all over the world, from Germany to Finland to Spain to United States. So there are many examples. Maybe the name was different, but the approach was same. I don't know whether I answered your 2 questions clearly.
Well, I've done several things. First of all, some technical approaches. They were, first of all, introduction of the vertical system of the water users. So they would introduce a vertical system, which would start with household, then to a, I don't know, city municipality, then it would go to a country's region, then the country itself would go, then would be basin river management, then the whole region. And I've learned that the water resource distribution, it would go as from the bottom to up system. So the household would say how much water is going to use, then it would send it to the upper layer, and the upper layer would think, and it will send, this way it would go. And another thing was using the water using water between several, let's say, different industries. So using grey waters, for example, grey waters from the, let's say, which people use in their ordinary lives, wastewaters, they could be used in the let's say, heavy industry, and just sharing water from agriculture to municipality, from municipality to industry, and these were technical moments.
I think I don't know whether you want my answer, but what you said, I think it's all right, because integrated water resource management has different layers.
Yes.
That you are saying, and you are talking about efficiency, but we can of course talk about details. But what you said, I agree. For details, we have to talk for many hours.
Why I asked you said that yes, we need to cooperate, but
that's international.
In 2013, I was intern at the United Nations ESCAP, Economic Social Commission for Asia and Pacific, and I have attended 3 or 4, let's say, international conferences, and many people would come, many people would say that yes, we need to cooperate, but at the end of the day, you see no cooperation there. So I was just curious, and people would talk about integrated water resource management. This would be like a huge cliche, huge names that would attract all the people, and experts would come, they would talk, but I could not hear what were the concrete steps of introduction of this way of using water resources, and how is that real that we can implement in Central Asian case. So I just wanted to hear your opinion about that.
Actually, there are examples. Like if you go Mekong River Commission as an example, you have ICWC, it's working. Okay, because integrated water resources management is an open field for gold diggers, I would say. So gold diggers, who always see if there is money or gold, they come and dig.
Yes.
So IWRM has research funding nowadays. So many people come, I know IWRM, I know. It's like this, They don't know anything, If they understand, they will be serious about that. So in international conferences, normal people become confused. What is this? It's becoming like sustainable development. Everyone is talking about sustainable development, but if you ask, can you please make me understand what is sustainable development? They don't know it. So that's the gold diggers, research funding gold diggers.
Okay.
I would call them always.
That's very honest. Thank you.
Thank you. Aziz.
I actually have 2 questions. One is kind of more sensitive. So as I understand, there are 2 types of country, right? Upstream and downstream. Upstream is where water generates, and then it goes to lower stream countries. For instance, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan. I understand that we've talked about a lot of theories, and one of the first theories was the theory of the total sovereignty or something. It's when the upstream country can do whatever it wants, build dams, etc., and utilize the water the way it wants, right? So if we assume that water is a natural resource like oil, and if oil, for instance, in Kazakhstan, right, there's also oil, why countries cannot use its water resources generated in the country the way that other countries use their other resources, natural resources like oil, gold, etc.?
Okay, can I answer this? Yes. You cannot drink oil. Can you drink oil?
I mean,
That's the main thing. For air and water, you have to be little bit rational, because we drink it. Without oil, I can survive, Aziz. I can walk to my hotel. Yeah? Without oil, I would have said like, okay, I will not go to Kyrgyzstan. That's it. You can survive. But oil is a non-renewable resource. It will end one day. But if you can't manage water resources in efficient way, what will happen? Okay, you sell everything. Okay, you use water. Is it good for you? At the end of the day, your grandchildren might be without water. That means there will be no people. What is the benefit? So that's the real thing. But the theory that you talked, is obsolete. No one agrees on that.
So you're saying that water is a necessity good that people kind of need. That's why. Okay. The second question is about the dams, hydroelectric powers. So to my knowledge, before it was the way like the water goes to them and how that's how it generates electricity. But how like it affects the discharge of water? Why it's decreasing the flow?
Because I'll tell it in the class, but to give a little example, like you want to get a water force, okay? So there is a river, I give a gate or something. So I have a certain water level so that it falls, this height will fall. So I have to maintain a water level, certain water level all over the year, nearby the reservoir. So if I store some water, it changes the whole hydrograph. You understand? But I can explain it to you.
Yeah, please.
Welcome to OSCE Academy. My name is Rahim.
Please be loud because you are
I'm
visual
Dilan
loud.
Afghanistan. So I will take your attention back to South Asia. So under the 1960, the Indus Water Treaty Agreement was signed between India and Pakistan. So under that agreement, up riparian and the down riparian, which now Jhelum and Indus were given to Pakistan, and the Sutlej, Ravi and Beach were given to India. So despite that, India is built two projects, which two projects for Jhelum and 9 projects for Chenab. So under this, so it will again lead to the conflict between India and Pakistan. So whose right is this? Is it India violating the right, or is Pakistan?
Actually, to be theoretically correct, it's already solved. Because 1960, India's water treaty has a conflict resolution mechanism under the supervision of World Bank. So it's already solved. The conflict resolution committee already gave the thing. And another thing is that over there you will see treaty, you will see there will be talk, hot talk, but there will be no fight because both countries has nuclear power. They are both powerful in a way. And Indus is very interesting because it has 6 distributors, 6 rivers. So it can be shared 3-3. So for all other river basins in South Asia, it's not the case. So Indus Water Treaty still gives us a very positive example that by abiding a treaty, you can solve conflict. Both parties agree because there is no other way. They must agree. So that's the, if I answered you, I don't know whether you are happy. But
But these projects which India built, again it may lead to the differences between India and Pakistan. Which
Of course.
Pakistan is not agree with these projects.
yeah, as long as the Indus Water Treaty is valid, I think it is going to be obsolete soon. As long as it is valid, you have to abide. Pakistan will abide. But if they are violating some rules or norms, then either they have to extend the treaty period, or they have to one day they have to ratify United Nations Water Convention. Because at the end of the day, all countries will understand, like Egypt, that you cannot avoid international principles. As you was telling, why? Because water you need every time. So if you fight for water, okay, after 1 month I will get water, I am fighting, but after 2 days I cannot fight. I am thirsty. So that's the challenge here. Yes.
Before you mentioned that Bangladesh used to use the groundwater in agriculture sector, and you mentioned that it is the easiest way in order to use the groundwater in agriculture sector. At the same time, don't you think that it has high opportunity cost for Bangladesh as well? Because when we say water has economic value, mainly the purpose of this concept is the groundwater, because it is the main source of clean water, also the main source of fresh water in the country.
Okay, so when I said like excessive use of groundwater, I didn't mean only Bangladesh, all over the South Asia.
Yeah.
In India also it's a disaster. Number 2 is agriculture is highly subsidized there. So if you have a pump, you can extract it. It's very cheaper there. Of course, it has cost, but the country as a whole, nation state, is bearing the cost, not you, not the farmer. You understand what I am telling? So that's maybe one reason. But if you just put water price tag on that agricultural water, it's a risky because most of the farmers grow food for feeding themselves. So government has to deal with famine or other issues. They have to subsidize more. So that's why it's a balance. But what I told is not for Bangladesh, it's for whole South Asia. Because of lack of water in surface water, because of building of dams, barrages and unsustainable use of surface water, people are nowadays interested in using groundwater. And because of producing crops that are highly water consuming, because of lack of irrigation efficiency. 50% water is wasted. In South Asia, it might be 55% irrigation efficiency. That means if you give 100 liters of water in the land, only 55 liters is used, 45 liters wasted. So this kind of thing is happening in South Asia. So I think it's also relevant for Central Asia.
If I may ask one or two questions that I hope will be of shared interest. One of them is, you mentioned that data are highly sensitive and the availability of reliable data is not there. Would it not help to rely on some international organizations? And I have a specific reason to ask this, and that's of course when the Tajiks decided that they want to build a huge dam, the Uzbeks strongly opposed. The Tajiks went to the World Bank and they had a study of the World Bank which must have been based on some data. And then the Uzbeks contested it. Basically, it's a very tricky thing because in the end, you know, I always believe that what we are doing here is unreliable, but natural scientists are standing out with their objectivity and reliability. You know, so it's a different ball game. And now I say, okay, but then why do you need a study if you then will contest the results, whatever they are? And the other is that we always speak about water wars. And of course, this is a region where countries are not in full harmony with each other. And my question is that, is water wars which are more potential than real, are they due to water or are they derivatives or spillovers of a spoiled political relationship? Because you have eloquently demonstrated that there are ways to manage these things. You know, you can have mixed commissions and peaceful settlement of disputes. Why don't we all go for it? Because we don't want to? Because we are so stupid? We are so selfish? We pursue our own political agenda?
To answer the second question first, I agree with you. It's a, as I am repeating again and again, water management does not only focus on solely on water. It's about all other things. So there are many other issues that, so what is only one benefit? Use water war, I cannot, okay, it might be different name,
Yeah.
but showing or it's very easy to threat people by water war. It's very easy to threat people by climate change. There are some climate change businessmen, I would say, who are always, if you sit in the climate change meeting, you will be, at the end of the day, you will feel like, okay, why I am living in this world will not be here. So let's enjoy. In Bangladesh, 1/3 will be flooded or something, yeah? So they are scaring us, and by scaring us, they are making themselves important. So it doesn't mean that there are less water in this world. I can, if I had time, I would have shown. It's not like that. We have enough water in this world. What is the problem? It's just management. You see in big cities, people are telling that there are less drinking water, yeah? There will be no drinking water crisis in this world. There cannot be. It's impossible. Because we use only 4 to 5% water for drinking water and sanitation. And mostly 80% is used by agriculture. So if at the end, we don't have 5% of water, don't you think? We have. There's plenty of water for drinking water and sanitation. No need to worry. Some people are making businesses. We have to focus on this kind of irrigation efficiency. As for example, if you improve efficiency by 5%, you can save 5% water. If you change the crop pattern, like 1 kilogram of beef, you need 13,000 liters of water. 1 kilogram of tomato need 50 liters. So if you just change the food habit, it can do a miracle. And another thing is that like we have some areas where there are plenty of water, and we have some areas where there are less water. The thing is that God has given this world and actually selected some particular places where people can stay and where people can do industries. I can always see like the Indus Valley, Iraq, Mesopotamia, or Iraq, this Tigris Euphrates Valley, Nile River Delta. These are given for people to stay, and you can do industries or other kind of things in somewhere else where you cannot cultivate land for 3 times a year. So it's in a way our urbanization, our desire to stay in a particular place against the will of nature. These all issues are combining together for this artificial water crisis, I would say, which is, I would say, it's management crisis. It's not a water crisis, it's a water management crisis. So that's, I don't know whether I answered you, but I tried. But second question was really very, very good. And the first one is the data and information sharing you told. Okay, I can reach the data. Give me the data. What you want to tell me? Tomorrow morning I will give a good report. I will show you that in Kyrgyzstan there are less water. You can twist the data. It's not a big deal, you know. If there is no reviewer to check, because normally government organization collect the water data, okay? So data and then put in the computer, okay? So you give it to me, who checks? I can change it, yeah, in Excel. It's very much possible to show that in January we have plenty of water, okay? For India, if they show that in January Bangladesh has plenty of water, then why you are trying? You have enough water. You understand? So you can twist the data very easily. That's why nobody agrees. So that's why you need a commission that one person from this country, one person from that country, both will go together, both will collect the data, both will study together. Then there will be some trust building. Otherwise, no one will trust.
You mentioned the document in 2008. There was a document that provides some certain framework for the Central Asian countries to regulate water. Could you elaborate more on that, and how does it really help now to follow this document and to solve the problems? Because we have a problem with Uzbekistan and Tajikistan around the dam, and also in Kyrgyzstan. Uzbekistan firmly opposes all the dam building of the water that goes downstream to the Fergana Valley, right? Because it's really dependent on agriculture and the people. So how does it really help to solve the issues? Because now we see that both Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan, now the 3 parties, they have Russia as a moderator, mediator, who will basically, they're relying on Russia to solve the problem, to be an objective third party who will do. But it seems also that Russia, it's my personal opinion right now, that it may be prolonging the conflict, because this conflict will allow it to better manipulate the regimes and the countries in the region. So does this 2008 agreement...
To answer specifically, no.
No. Okay.
Now let me explain.
Okay.
Because, no, you want to answer.
Yes, I want a broader answer.
Yeah. But I have one article that I can share with you so you can read it. Yeah?
Okay.
At least last 2 pages is okay. So when I discussed the last 2 paragraphs, if you have time, it will take 15 minutes. But the thing is that I told it's one of the best available regional documents. I am not telling it is the best. You understand? That is the rephrase. Because it included many things, but it has many obstacles to implement it, you know. So there are many obstacles to be handled before we can say that this will work. You got my point. The conflict resolution mechanism is not so effective. ICWC is mainly bureaucratic. The people participation, water user association are not working so perfectly to give their decision. They don't have any decision making power. So this kind of country coordination, data information sharing, this are not going on very nicely. Of course there is a scientific and information sharing center or something, but it's not working. So you have to, it's a good starting point, better than other regions, but you have to work very hard. But on the other hand, Uzbekistan is a party of United Nations Water Convention. Now Uzbekistan has a moral right to go to the United Nations easily and at least seek help from international community because they agreed. They passed it on, ratified it through their parliament. So, and Kazakhstan also ratified UNEC convention. So these two countries then go. But that's what my observation. But the answer was no. Yes.
I think time is catching up on us. So if you are
One last question. Kazakhstan also has a trouble with China right now. Not the trouble, but they have the unresolved problem with the water. There's water coming from China to Kazakhstan. Although they solved all the territorial disputes, they're now having this issue that they will have to deal with. Does this document also touch upon the Kazakhstan and China issue? Or do they have to do it on a bilateral basis?
This is Central Asian document or?
The 2008 one, yes. Does it also include the
China is not a party there. China is not a party there.
So they
But
won't have to.
yeah, but if I allow my student from Kazakhstan, very briefly, how can you answer? For China and Kazakhstan, he is an expert.
I have presentation today about this issue. So we have two rivers, it's Irtysh and Ili, which both goes to Kazakhstan. Ili goes to Lake Balkh, and Irtysh goes through the Kazakhstan to the river Ob in Russia. In Ili, China built already, I think, the hydroelectric plant, and state withdraws about 30% of water. By 2020, it will be 40%. And regarding Irtysh, Chinese built the Karamay Canal that links the city of Karamay in China with part of the Irtysh river in China. And as a result, Russia and Kazakhstan suffers both. So, and today we have bilateral agreement between China and Kazakhstan, but in the future, Dmitry Medvedev in 2012 said, let's do it trilateral, so 3 countries will be. But still, nothing has been, no progress has been made so far. This is the answer. No progress. The answer came.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
And now let me thank our speaker who was doing this marvelous job, both in the presentation and then answering your many questions and making comments. And I hope that we will have him back once he goes from us, but still until he is with us, you will enjoy his enormous knowledge on this matter. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this was it. Thank you so much for participation and attendance. See you next time. The next time is not very far. There are a few things on the 25th. There is the one from the Gorchakov Fund. There is on the 26th on oral history. And there is on the 30th. There are 3 things coming. That's for the rest of the month. Okay? Bye-bye.